Hello, hello, everybody. All right. I will give people some time to trickle in. Let me get everything else ready. We got a few topics to talk about today. Obviously, Luminalia. We're gonna find out what the gift was for today, but we also got to talk about this letter for the chairman, or letter from the chairman. My bad. Nope, that's an old one. So we're gonna go to. Gotta find it first. I'm assuming that's on Comlinks. And we got the Q&A for the Anvil Paladin. Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff from today. But we'll probably just make a video about the other stuff. But today the biggest thing is this letter from the chairman. Um, and it looks like we're gonna get two versions that we get to go through the holiday with. So this is gonna be interesting. What's up, Blue Four? What's up, Ubo Arcane? What's up, Matthew Ward, Merc Mercy? What's up? So today we are going to go over this letter for the chairman that just dropped. So I'll read it and then we can talk about it. And also we'll do the Luminalia thing. Um, Actually, let's just do the Luminalia thing right now since we already know what that's going to be. We just got to check to make sure nothing crazy is happening. It's day 8 for Luminalia. Make sure there's nothing crazy added to this list of things we can purchase. Make sure nothing's back in stock. And yeah, there's nothing in stock. All right. So let me make this visible to everybody and then we will do the thing. All right, Luminalia, day 8. What did we get? We got the Karna Brimstone Rifle. Okay, so if we go back, we got the Karna Alpine Sunset, which is more green than it is red, and then this one looks like it's mostly red. Okay. So we got skins here. I think I've liked this so far. Obviously the first day has to be something like this. But yeah. I like this. I like what we've been getting so far. I think the next one is probably going to be a skin, and then the 10th one will probably not be a skin, but then the 11th one's going to be big. They tend to end these pretty well. So the Q&A for the Anvil Paladin has dropped. I haven't really looked through all of it. Um, Apparently that quad turret is going to be slower than the Scorpius's rail turret. So it's going to be interesting. Weapons are not bespoke. Yeah, there's a lot in that. I'll have to make a whole video on that. Hello, everyone. I noticed there's a bunch of people jumping in. What's up? What's up, Panzer? What's up, Northern? What's up, Citizen Ninja? Did they announce the price for the Guardian? I didn't see that. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, so we are getting 4.0 tonight. We are getting 4.0 tonight. All right, let's go over this letter for the chairman. Let's go over this letter for the chairman because I think this is going to be the biggest topic, I think. Let's see. Okay, so 4.0 tonight, but let's go. Let's just get into the letter of the chairman because I don't want to do anything secondhand knowledge. I want to like actually go over it. All right, so let me switch us over. Bam. Long ago, lost in the midst of the time before COVID, at CitizenCon 2949, we showcased the first in-game prototype of traveling from the Stanton system to the Pyro system. Yes, we know, it's been a while. After a much longer than anticipated development process, what was teased in 2019 became a reality for all players when we launched Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 to the live servers as part of what we are calling the 4.0 preview. For the first time in our history, we will run 2 live releases in parallel, each with their own progress and persistence. This means you'll have the unique opportunity to choose which version you want to dive into, at least for a little while. At this stage, we both want and need the high traffic of a live release to thoroughly test server meshing and the newly refactored systems that rely on it as they go through their final paces. We acknowledge that we did not have time to get all the mission types working before our holiday break, which is why we have decided to temporarily support 2 parallel live tracks. Alpha 3.24.3 will remain available so you can play the missions and engage in game loops that are not working to our new playability standards in 4.0. Meanwhile, the 4.0 preview will also be accessible from your launcher as a second live option. If you are not interested in previewing 4.0, you can simply select Alpha 3.24.3 from the dropdown and continue enjoying the current live build. This may feel like our usual PTU process, but there is one key difference. By running both builds on live environment, we can take steps to ensure that your progress on 4.0 will carry over. Our goal is for anything you do and earn in the 4.0 preview to persist without any further wipes unless something major happens, though we do not anticipate that. That said, it's important to note that progress made in Alpha 3.24.3 will remain tied to that version and will not transfer to 4.0. This allows us to maintain a clean slate for the new system coming online in the 4.0 preview, ensuring a consistent, stable environment as we look to deprecate 3.24.3 in the new year. Okay, so let's start with that part. 4.0, no more wipes. I'm assuming that means until 1.0, until the game actually goes live. So I think 4.0 is the last time we will see wipes until 1.0, which I'm assuming, I don't even think we'll get that until the end of next year. I don't even think it'll be CitizenCon. I think like IE next year or something. I don't know. But all right, that's good. I don't mind them having both because I do know that if 4.0 launches and it's not great, people will still want to play the game. But yeah, this is the time to hop in, it seems like. All right, hold on one second. we'll go through the rest of this, but I can do this a little differently. What's up, Clearly? You did catch a live stream. What's up, Yeti? What's up, Vidux? What's up, 10? What's up, Mary? Yeah. Shout out to the dual streamers. I see you came out early today. All right. Let me do something real quick. Yep, we're gonna read the rest of this. I just wanted to have some have the chat up while I did it, and I didn't do that. So let me fix that. All right. Here we go. Let's get back to the letter. All right, let's see. Yeah, this I do think it's smart to have the two builds. All right, let's read the rest of this. As you navigate through Stanton and Pyro, you are now also navigating seamlessly through a mesh of servers that encompasses the entire game. Each planet, landing zone, or major station is now covered by different game servers. Thanks to this technology, server boundaries are effectively invisible, even at our high levels of fidelity, ensuring smooth, uninterrupted gameplay. This means that server performance, playability, and overall health are now local to each of the nodes on the server in the server mesh. Even dreaded server crashes are now localized to those regions, with players in other areas of space or on planets unaffected. It also means improved performance, as each server is simulating fewer entities, resulting in more responsiveness and allowing the game we are striving to create to finally shine through its content. 4.0 is not just 3.24.3 with server meshing, it also includes a lot of new content with the addition of Pyro. We have further pushed our reputation system to include 2 competing mission chains that allow you to align with either Headhunters or Citizens for Prosperity. This means areas that were previously neutral will become hostile or friendly depending on your choice. This decision will become even more important next year as we start to put a greater focus on storytelling inside the verse. We have also introduced contested zones within the major stations in Pyro, each heavily manned by a gang faction, Fire Rats, Horizon, or Xenothreat. These large sprawling locations offer high quality rewards in the depths of their vaults, but you will need to contend with the current occupants and either help or battle your fellow players. They are also home to the mysterious Pyro amalgamated component boards, which some say can lead to even greater rewards. This type of content is an important milestone as we start to introduce different ways for players to progress in the game, with reputation and physical rewards being something we aim to push even further in patches. Okay. 2025, a focus on playability. As we jump into the new year, our primary focus across our Star Citizen team is clear: improving playability. Our drive for playability surrounds 3 critical areas: performance, stability, and content. We understand that the live environment must be far more reliable and consistent, and we are determined to deliver on this. The sentiment many of you have shared, and one we wholeheartedly agree with, is that if the current game, as it stands today, ran smoothly with fewer obstacles and bugs, it would provide an unparalleled experience. Over the years, we have experimented with different approaches to improve quality of life and tackling tech debt. However, the ongoing challenge has been balancing these efforts alongside the introduction of new features and technology. Too often, testing new features within the same pipeline as content has led to unintended ripple effects, creating instability, hindering performance, and impacting overall gameplay. In some instances, new features that are not fully mature have delayed the release of content or caused blockers that impact our progress. That has prompted us to reevaluate our approach to feature and content rollout, focusing on steps we can take to bring the game to a better state while maintaining steady delivery. All right, I'll keep reading. I just wanted to see, what do you guys think so far of what's being said? Because I'm all for it. I think this letter is kind of overdue. I would have loved for him to drop this right after CitizenCon. But maybe they didn't decide to do this until today. Like, I'm not going to be touching 3.24.3. I don't care how messed up 4.0 is. When 4.0 is live, now that they're telling me they're not going to wipe it, I'm playing 4.0. And I'll just play whatever's available in 4.0. But if you're telling me you're not going to wipe it, which means I'll have long-term progression, that's kind of what I've been waiting on. It said, oh, you said PTU used to be crap and live was good. Now live is crap and PTU is good. So, yeah. There is no incentive to play live now. Why would you say that? There's definitely incentive. There is no incentive to play 3.24.3's live. You play 4.0. Now it's giving you a choice. Do you want to keep playing the game as it is currently today? Or do you want to jump into 4.0 and do the preview stuff where there's consequences to what you do and your choices matter and your things will be saved? Let's see. All right, let's keep reading and we'll go from here. To achieve our goals, we are making a fundamental change, decoupling feature development from content creation and general fixes. This means new features will no longer hold up content delivery or risk destabilizing the live environment. Yay! No more feature creep, apparently. They're listening to people. Decoupling feature development from content creation and general fixes. So, 2 separate teams now. This is what I like to hear. This approach will leverage the tech preview channel, which was reserved for major new pieces of technology like the replication layer and server meshing, will now extend to gameplay feature testing too. When a new feature is deemed complex or too risky enough to require focused testing, we'll introduce a separate experimental PTU, ePTU channel dedicated to that feature. Testing in this isolated channel will allow us to refine and stabilize the feature without impacting content and broader development work. Only once the feature is fully greenlit will it integrate into our standard Evo PTU live pipeline. This means, okay, so I'm trying to understand this. Evocati obviously gets first, and then when it goes to PTU, there'll always be a PTU and ePTU, and then there will always be the live, and then there will be Evocati ePTU, and then there'll be regular PTU for everybody else, and then there will be another PTU, which is live for everybody when it's out of Evocati, and then it goes back to live again. Okay, that makes sense to me. This means we will have more stability and predictability in our ongoing game releases, as the main development stream will not be disrupted by untested features still being worked on. Instead, the team can focus on improving stability, performance, and quality of life. Alongside this playability initiative, we are also tying together our content releases so that they feel more connected to the world. This means each new content drop will be more focused and drive an overall narrative forward, similar to our Overdrive and Save Stanton events. This content will then unlock new and powerful rewards, including ships, armors, weapons that you can play to earn. We are taking this approach to deliver more things to do more often than we have in the past, where we have frequently been held hostage by tech or feature work that has taken longer than anticipated. Our objective is to make Star Citizen more stable, more performant, and more fun this coming year. I love that. I absolutely love that. So, to be very clear about the way this works, essentially, Evocati always gets everything first. Then, when they do PTU, it won't just be a PTU. It'll be PTU and ePTU. The PTU will have everything that is based on content creation and general fixes. The ePTU will have all of that stuff plus the feature development, so it'll have like new features and stuff in there, seeing how that stuff works with that. But the PTU will be kind of the main build, and the ePTU will be like the secondary build. So you can choose whether you want to take part in the PTU, which will have all of the content creation and general fix stuff, or the ePTU, which has that stuff plus the feature development stuff. And you can pick which one you want to be a part of, if you even take part in PTU at all. Then, when the PTU stuff is ready, that immediately goes to live. The ePTU stuff only goes to live once that particular feature development is greenlit. So that can be way longer. You might go through multiple iterations of the PTU before the ePTU even drops. So it's very possible that those don't drop at the same time. So that they're just separating the feature development from the content creation and general fixes. Content creation and general fixes will be in the PTU, and then the feature development part will be in the ePTU. And then they'll have different cycles of which one's going live. And they're just trying to show you the way it looks here. But it'll be much more, it'll be much easier to go through this once they actually start doing it. But yes, this is kind of cheating on the side of them by saying like we're releasing 4.0, but we're also it's not fully done yet. So, but we still get to say we released 4.0, but still allow you to do 3.24.4. What's up, Great War Mage? So it's a little bit cheating, but I also don't care because the idea is that we all just wanted 4.0 before the end of the year, and we want 4.0 during a time um, where we can play it over the holidays and then not have to wait all the way to the new year in order to get 4.0. And I like the way that they're doing this so far. I haven't read anything so far that made me be like, no. And I like that they're tying the things that we do in the game to a story initiative so that we don't feel like we're just kind of floating in a world where nothing's connected to anything. I also like that we're playing against each other in some ways, depending on what we're doing. All right, what's up, Clearly? See a few new people in here. What's up? All right, let's read the rest. My whole career, I've created the games I wanted to play as a gamer because I could see a gamer in my mind's eye that didn't exist. I felt if it did, it would be amazing, and I could see the steps needed to make it a reality. I've been fortunate that the games that I want to play, a lot of people also want to play, but I rarely met a publishing executive that has the ability to see the possibility in this kind of vision. They can only see a known quantity, a sequel, a bet on an existing IP. This is why I chose crowdfunding for Star Citizen rather than pursuing a development deal with a big publisher, and it is why I feel incredibly lucky and privileged to be able to develop Star Citizen and Squadron 42 with all of your continued support year after year, as it allows me and every developer at CIG to focus on just making the games that we and you all want to play. Star Citizen and Squadron 42 are two games that would never have been greenlit by any of the big publishers. They are both too ambitious, and in a genre that up until recently was viewed as niche, they require patience and investment that I doubt any publisher would have the stomach for, yet here we are, thanks to all of you. The team and I are determined to repay that faith, patience, and support by delivering two games unlike any other. We have already made great strides with today's release. Server meshing is no longer a question mark, but a reality, and seeing the results of a more densely populated universe as well as better performance and stability, we are closer than ever to realizing a dream many have said is impossible with a clear destination for both Squadron 42's release and Star Citizen 1.0 roadmap, a focused team, and more importantly, the enthusiasm and support from the best community in gaming. We will deliver. This confidence comes from the unwavering dedication of the Evocati testers, the hundreds of thousands of you who help us test release at scale in the PTU, and the immense amount of constructive feedback shared across Spectrum, Discord, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Reddit. Your involvement shapes Star Citizen in countless ways, making the journey a truly collaborative effort. The impact of the community is felt far beyond the game as well. In 2024 alone, an incredible 203 bar citizens were held, bringing players together to celebrate and share their passion for our shared universe. This year also shattered in-person attendance records. Community-organized events such as BE at Con and the Shenzhen Bar Citizen each drew over 2,000 attendees, while CitizenCon 2954 in Manchester welcomed more than 5,000 fans from every corner of the globe. Over 1 million of you have played 32 million hours in the game this year, and our ranks have swelled by almost 500,000 citizens. This is a community that is only getting stronger. The journey hasn't been without its challenges. Nothing great ever comes easy, but there's no one we'd rather have by our side than you. Thanks for all your support in 2024. Wishing you happy holidays and looking forward to the great things we will do together in 2025, Chris. All right, there we go. We read the whole thing. It did say today, with today's release, so it is coming today. I was a day off. I thought it would come. Oh, what happened? What happened? Did I hit the wrong button? I think I hit the wrong button. Are we still live? I hope, I don't know what happened. I think I might have hit the wrong button, so I hope we're still live. But yeah, I like what I just read. I don't have any issues with it. Okay, good. Hold on. Let me make sure we're still live on everything. All right. Looks like we're good. I think I hit the wrong button. So our stream might have ended for a second and then restarted. But all right. Looks like we're back though, so we're good. So what do you all think? What do you all think about what I just read? We're getting 4.0 tonight, but we're also getting 3.2, 3.4, which is, I mean, we're keeping 3.24.3. So it looks like we're staying. Yeah, I am ready for 4.0. I am ready for 4.0. I need to do some. I need to mess around with my sticks a little bit more to prepare, I think. But I am ready to get into the game and then feel like everything I do matters. That's something I've been waiting on for a very long time. I thought with 3.24 I would play more, but then I just realized I needed to wait until CitizenCon to really get into it. Yeah. They said late tonight is when we're going to get 4.0. So let me see if I can find anything on that. Like, I know that one of the devs said something. I saw something. Was it on the dev tracker? It was on the dev tracker. It looks like the Guardian is the only ship that we're getting with 4.0, unless there's like a surprise ship that they want to talk about. The Guardian is only flyable in 4.0. I don't see, let's see. I don't see anything else saying a specific time. Oh, here we go. Tonight, U.S. time zone could be late. So it's based on, it's going to be late according to the U.S. time zone. But they said tonight, so that means before midnight. And it is Thursday. On Eastern time, it is, oh, of course, my watch wants me to log in to see the time. 6:25. It is 6:25. I'm going to guess we get it around 10. But that also explains why the devs have been on it so much. But what do you guys think? Because I'm hyped. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that. Well, somebody's already saying it in the chat. 4.0. I think most people are gonna shift to 4.0 because I think unless people are doing things that are just like I'm just doing this to kind of like zone out for a bit. I think most people are going to switch to 4.0. And I think the only time they'll switch back is if they're like, if 4.0 is just unplayable. And then they'll just go to 3.24.3 just to mess around. But yeah, I think this is a long time coming. It was deserving of a letter for the chairman. I'm glad he said that. I'm also glad he addressed a lot of the stuff that the community has been talking about. The community has been talking about them shifting the way that they do development for a while, and this was the announcement of that. So I am super excited for them to kill the argument of feature creep, because that has been the most common argument against Star Citizen. It's just feature creep. It's just feature creep. So now we get to actually start. I would love for them to release the TAC as a surprise. I don't think it'll happen, but it could. Sailcat, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciation. I don't know if I'll play tonight, but in the next few days, I will definitely hop on and do a very long session. I don't know when that'll be. Probably Saturday or Sunday, though, so we'll see. But I will definitely be hopping on to 4.0 this weekend. Just have to figure out when. The aliens will take down the net down. Will take the net down tonight. Oh my goodness. We're past 6 p.m. in Eastern time, so it could very well be coming at any second. We met our follower goal at 370. Shout out to the people who are following. If you are not dual streaming, feel free to do so. If you do, you qualify to win both of our prizes. Just make sure you leave comments, because if you leave comments on both Twitch and you leave comments on YouTube, you qualify for both prizes. Our prize on Twitch is going to be a C8R, and then our prize on... Oh, I'm knocking over my lights. Let me fix that. Our prize on YouTube is going to be a skin. I keep forgetting. I owe that dude their skin, and I keep forgetting. MK, if you're on, I'm gonna do that right after the stream. I keep forgetting. I think you sent it to me already too. This community is incredible. I'm glad that he kept saying that in the letter, because I do think that it's easy to forget that all the gaming community is not like the Star Citizen community. The Star Citizen community is incredible. So part of the reason why I didn't just do a general gaming channel, I did a Star Citizen channel. I will eventually do like a gaming channel with other games and stuff, but it's the reason I started with Star Citizen, because I wanted to have this experience with this community, and then I could like branch out and do other stuff, and this community gives me the confidence to go out and face the other part of the gaming world. But yeah, I am super hyped for 4.0. I am hyped for no wipes. I'm hyped to actually make it a game that I can play all the time, rather than just be like, oh, I guess I'll hop in and see what it's like. Yeah, and the no more wipes thing, man. I don't necessarily believe that. I do think we'll get a wipe once 1.0 comes, but I do think 1.0 is very far away. So I do think this is the start of the game. I almost want to call this like early access. I feel like 4.0 is like the start of the early access rather than just the alpha or beta. I don't know. Maybe we call it the beta. I don't know. 4.0, I feel like it feels like it's going to be a beta, because we're going to basically play the game and keep everything until we get to 1.0, which is when the game releases. And that could be two or 3 years. But the thing about it is, it's much easier to wait for that if you already have a game that you can play while you're waiting for that. So, yeah, I think the earliest that we get 1.0 is the end of 2026, but I think the most likely time that we get it is beginning of 2028, end of 2027. That's when I would think that we would get it. Just because I feel like they're going to take their time with 1.0 and just keep making 4.0 really great. I seriously think they're not going to wipe anything anymore, because they don't need to. I think the wipes were... I think they haven't needed to wipe anything for a while now. I think the last 3 or 4 patches, they haven't needed to wipe anything. They only wiped it because of... They just wanted to make sure they were starting from a clean slate. And I think they've already known that for a while. So when they say they're not going to wipe, I believe that they're not going to wipe it. He is a CEO, though, so he's going to have a little bit of that business speak baked in there, because even though we are fans and we are supporters and stuff like that, the people who are looking to invest in CIG also read those statements. So it can't just be built for us gamers. It has to be for everybody. Shout out to the dual streamers. I see a bunch of people dual streaming, so much appreciation. We are trying to grow our Twitch channel, so I appreciate it when you watch on both. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll get used to my sticks by 1.0. I got like 5 more years of using these things before I'm used to them. Yeah. You said you think we'll get a 5.0? I don't think so. I think we'll get 4.1, 4.2, 4. I think we'll get 4.0.1, and then we'll get all those, and then we'll get a 4.1 and a 4.2 and a 4.3, all the way until we get 1.0. 4.0 dash 1999. How do you donate? I mean, you can buy subs for people. You can follow. You can buy bits. There's a whole lot of ways you can donate. So whichever one you feel comfortable doing, or you don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just watch, because we're just having a conversation here. But I appreciate anybody who does that. Sailcat just bought gifted a tier 1 sub to Sulinese, so very cool stuff. Twas the night before 4.0 and all the devs were coding. I like that. That was cool. All right, so what else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to go over these patch notes for the Paladin, or you want to keep talking about 4.0 stuff? At this point, I'm just ready to play 4.0. We've been talking about 4.0 for 5 years. Oh man. All right, let's go over the. We're only what are we? Oh, it says I'm only 12 minutes in, so definitely ended the stream and then it came back on Twitch. Did it? I don't think it ended on this one though. I don't think it ended on YouTube. It didn't end on YouTube, but it ended on Twitch and then came back. So we're gonna have a really weird old video on Twitch. All right, so let's look at the notes for the Paladin, and we'll read through those, and I'll say what my thoughts are on those. Let's see. Let me open up all the questions, and then I'll come back and switch the screen over. All right, so how are we gonna do this? We're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this. Bam. All right. Yeah, I think everybody can read that. All right, what is the loner for the Paladin while it is being developed? The Redeemer is the loner. That makes sense. Regarding VTOL, the Paladin seems to have rotating thrusters at the back of the ship. How does it handle in atmosphere compared to the Valkyrie's quad VTOL coverage? The Paladin has enough VTOL power to handle adequately in atmosphere and maintain its position above targets, though compared to ships such as the Valkyrie, it will be less agile. That's weird. It's smaller than the Valkyrie, right? And it's based on the Valkyrie's profile. So that's weird that it's less agile than the Valkyrie, right? Is there an engineering room? The room at the rear of the upper deck is the engineering room where the main engineering screen and majority of components are located. However, some components, such as the radar, life support, and gravity generator, are located in other areas of the ship. All right, makes sense. Does the Paladin offer escape pods for its crew? Yes. How does the Anvil Paladin compare to the Aegis Redeemer? While both are gunships, they have different takes on that role and playstyle. The recent changes to the Redeemer's turret weapon and shield sizes are offset by a significant boost to maneuverability. So there you have it, Redeemer fans. You're getting your maneuverability after losing your turret weapon and shield sizes. You are getting your maneuverability. Now, when they say significant boost, I'm expecting significant boost. So they better do it justice. And this allows the Paladin to occupy the tankier gunship role. So this one is meant to take shots while giving them out. Both ships have strengths and weaknesses. The Paladin trading agility for raw firepower and speed for armor, allowing players to choose a ship to suit their playstyle. So I guess that it's probably going to have... Are they saying that the Valkyrie doesn't have a lot of armor, or that this will have more armor than the Valkyrie? It's a little weird, because they're saying that this will be less agile than the Valkyrie, and the Valkyrie's bigger, but then they're saying this one is going to give up speed for armor. So it's weird. Anyway, both ships have strengths and weaknesses. The Paladin trading agility for raw firepower and speed for armor, allowing players to choose a ship to suit their playstyle. The handling of the Paladin will be like the Redeemer was before the recent changes, which is more befitting a ship of its size and shape versus the much more compact Redeemer. And unlike the Redeemer, the Paladin has no modular room, which is still planned for the Redeemer's lower floor. Okay, so that I heard about this modular room. That's the first time I've seen it in a long time. So that might be a reason to get the Redeemer over the Paladin, depending on your playstyle, obviously. When will the Paladin start production? The Paladin is currently in its white box production phase. Okay. The Redeemer is supposed to have sophisticated shields, but they are size 2. Why does the Paladin have size 3 when its focus is on armor? They kind of already answered that. Is there any storage in the Paladin, such as gun racks, lockers, or cargo grid? There are gun racks and personal storage for the crew, but there is not a dedicated cargo area with a cargo grid. They didn't say lockers. They didn't answer the lockers question, and they didn't answer is there no suit lockers? It says personal storage, though, but they specifically said gun racks and personal storage. So that doesn't answer the question. This is why I really feel like they need to dedicate 2 sentences to every one of these answers. Compared to similar ships such as the Valkyrie and Legionnaire, how well armored is the Paladin? The Valkyrie is the better comparison size-wise. Regardless, the Paladin is well armored and able to take a significant amount of incoming fire. Okay, so they don't want to say that it's more armored than the Legionnaire, which is weird because it seems like that question is obvious. Why did they answer that question if they weren't going to answer the question? They just said the Valkyrie is the better comparison, but don't say whether the Valkyrie has more or less armor. And then they said the Paladin is well armored and can take significant amount of incoming fire. From what, though? I don't get why they did that. That was weird. I don't get why even answer the question if you're not going to answer the question. How fast does the size 5 remote quad turret slide between the top and bottom positions? I answered this earlier. Essentially, it's going to be slower than the Scorpius's rail turret. Is the Paladin still efficient if I play with just one friend as a duo with them using the remote quad turret? While all weapon stations are usable with only 2 total crew, it is not the optimal loadout due to restrictions on the pilot-controlled wing weapons. Do the pilot's wing weapons play as gimbaled when not remotely manned by dedicated gunners? Yes, if there is nobody in the seats that control the wing weapons, then the pilot has control of them, albeit locked in the forward arc due to their location. Their convergence is limited frontally, so they are only suitable for targets at mid-long distance. However, when independently controlled, they have full freedom of motion and can look pretty much in a full 180-degree arc in all directions, allowing players to engage targets below, above, and behind. I like that because it makes them not OP. Can you see through all the way down through the bottom of the Paladin? I never noticed this picture before. You can see all the way through, that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I like that because then that removes them being way too OP and people just being able to run it with 2, it still makes you want to put 4 people in it. How is the visibility with the blast shields activated, and why should we activate the blast shields in the cockpit? Visibility is significantly reduced for all seats. However, the pilot is the only one impacted, as all other stations use remote weapon views. The upper and lower blast shields are independently controlled, allowing the crew to dedicate whether to fully or partially lock down. In the short term, these parts provide a small HP boost when deployed, but as physical damage comes online, they will provide additional damage resistance. Okay. So your HP goes up when you have those on, and then it'll do even more once physical damage comes online. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Absolutely all. Can we replace any weapons on the Paladin? Yes, none of them are bespoke, and the same for the missile racks. The internal decks show rooms that look rather empty. Can you explain the purpose of room 6, 5, 8, and 9? We'll click on this just so you can see what they're talking about. Uh, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is room 6, which it says stairs to lower deck. Then 7, 8, 9. It said 7 is for gunners. 8 is for suit lockers. Okay, so it does have suit lockers. What? Why did they answer that question? This is so weird that they answer questions that are so obvious. It has suit lockers. Anyway, and then 9 is stairs to upper deck. So it looks like 6 and 9 are the same thing. So that's weird. Let's see, where are we at? We're just gonna have to exit out of this and go back. All right. All right, where were we at? 6 and 9 cover the central traversable area and take up space due to the number of entrance ways from all connecting rooms. Number 5 and the room on the opposite sides are the crew quarters, each with a set of bunk beds, desk area, and personal storage. Number 8 is the main entrance room to the ship and contains 4 suit lockers and a set of weapons racks for each crew member. Okay. We have answered the question that they didn't answer up here. I feel like they need to do a little bit better with answering these questions. Because the answer to this question should have been way up earlier, and then I wouldn't have had questions about that question. With the ammo system in the future, players are wondering about ballistic reloading. We do still plan for ships to be able to rearm ballistic weapons, either directly on the gun in question or from the ship's internal stores, fed by the players directly. This I cannot wait for. This I cannot wait for, because basically I just avoid, unless I know it's going to be a short-term engagement, I just avoid ballistic weapons. If it's going to be a long-term engagement, I would rather have my lasers that keep reloading than having ballistic weapons, unless I know it's going to be a short engagement, like a dogfight or something like that. But if it's going to be like me going against an Idris or something, I don't even want ballistic weapons. And we need to make it easier to swap out weapons, because I wish that was a very quick thing. Like I go to my hangar, I change this, done. And I feel like that's not really what it is. You can do it. I just feel like it needs to be a little easier and faster. Not easier, but faster. Can the ship fly across the system for long-range operations? Its quantum fuel tank will have a similar capacity to the Valkyries. However, given the equipped quantum drive and the differing system sizes, there isn't a simple yes or no answer to this. So basically, it'll be based on how you equip it. How many exits does the Paladin offer? There's a single side entrance exit ramp. That's not good. But then again, it is meant to fight, so it's not really utilitarian. But the fact that they have all that crew on board, I feel like there should be two exits. And that's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. All right, so what do you guys think? I think they kind of missed the bar on some of those questions. I feel like they could have did more questions. Oh, villain by default. Did you just become a member? Thank you. Much appreciation, man. What? Awesome. All right, ad breaks ending for chat. What do we got over here, YouTube? Let's see. Delete your shader caches. Hide your women and your children. It's about to go down in the 4.0. They don't want to answer questions because that means when they change stuff, they'll have to come up with an explanation. Yeah, kinda. Well, now they won't because they're separating all the changes. They're gonna put 4.0 is gonna have two different PTUs. It's gonna be the ePTU and the regular PTU. Yeah, I think it's interesting timing because if you're not aware, they also announced recently that they're going to fix the Ares. So they said they're going to fix the Ares Ion. I don't know if they're going to. That means they're fixing the Inferno as well. But I think they're going to make the Ares and the Guardian much better competitors. Better competitors. I like that. I don't know that rhymes. Um, but I think it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to wait until 4.0 before I judge. So yeah, you're already asking Paladin versus Guardian. I don't think they fit the same role. I think the Guardian is like a one-person battleship. Like I'm just going in and I want a heavy fighter. It's like a actual heavy fighter rather than like a heavy fighter light like the F8. Um, Whereas the Paladin, I think, is a multi-crew gunship. So heavy fighter versus gunship. Gunship would beat heavy fighter, obviously, because it just has more guns. But the heavy fighter is more maneuverable, and if you get a good enough pilot, they might be able to eke it out. Guardian, I think, will be cheaper than the Paladin. If it's not, again, that would be extremely weird. I think I talked about this the other day. I think the Guardian is going to end up being somewhere between 230 and 250. And then I think it's very possible it could be a little bit more expensive. All right, so people are saying, okay, let me see if the launcher has an update. Opening my launcher. Yes, there is a launcher update, people. There is a launcher update 2.1.1. So make sure you go in and install that. I'm installing mine now. All right, Disarray, see you later. Enjoy D&D. Oh, so the Paladin is bigger than the Valkyrie. I did not know that. Oh, okay. That explains it. Okay. I don't know, when I was looking at it, I was like, this is smaller than the Valkyrie, right? But if it's bigger than the Valkyrie, that explains all of that. Okay, that makes more sense then. Yep, CIG does do that. They always answer a few questions nobody asked. I do think some of those questions come from the devs though, like not like internal dev questions, but like stuff that they want to make clear to the public so that it's not destroyed to death in Reddit. But you can't avoid that; it'll always happen. All All right. Question. If you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. I have no idea how long we've been streaming for. I didn't track what time we started, and then my thing is all messed up. I think we got like 10 minutes left. Okay, I think I started at like 5:58, so we're gonna go until a little bit after 6, and then that'll be it. All right, so drop those questions. I'm gonna answer all of them, as many as I can at least. Let's see. Which do you think will be more valuable in the long term of the game? Yes, please dual stream if you can. Shout out to the dual streamers. Tankiness or agility? I don't think there's either. I don't think either one will be more valuable. I think if an agile ship goes against an appropriately tanky ship, it's going to be down to the pilot. It's not going to be based on the tankiness or the agility of the ship. I think people will need to figure out what they're good at, right? Because if you are good at dodging shots and dodging missiles and if you're really good at that, you're probably going to lean more to the agile ships. But if you're better at like sitting still and actually getting shots on target, you're probably going to lean towards the tankiness of ships. And which one of those styles is more fun to you? Maybe you know how to do both. Which one of those is more fun to you? I wouldn't say that one is more valuable than the other. I know the larger the ship gets, the more I care about tankiness. And the smaller the ship gets, the more I care about agility. And that's the best I can say. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Don't dodge too much responsibility, though. You were hoping for some CCUs. I do think that when 4.0 drops, there will be a ship sale. Because, again, they're 7 million away from their target. Obviously, the Guardian's going to drop. So there's $1 million right there. I already know at least $1 million is coming from that Guardian. So then the only thing I don't know is, are there other ships that are going to drop, at least for sale, not necessarily be in game, but are other ships going to drop for purchase? Because if other ships drop for purchase, then they might be able to hit that $7 million goal. Like if 3 other ships drop and they're like, let people purchase them, I could see them actually hitting that. But if it's just like 1 or 2 ships, like the Guardian and then 1 other ship, they're probably not going to hit the goal. But like I said last stream, they don't really need to hit that goal. But yeah, I could see them saying like whatever ships they think are going to be most important for Pyro, like it'll be like a Pyro sale, like maybe it'll be a bunch of long range ships, stuff like that. Thanks Space Marine for joining the Dual Stream Club, much appreciated. We are trying to grow our channel, so make sure you leave 2 comments on YouTube and 2 comments on Twitch so that you qualify for our C8R we're giving away on Twitch and our skin that we're giving away on YouTube. And MK, I don't know if you're watching, but I am logging on directly after this to send you your skin. I think you did already message me, but I missed it. So I will send you that right after the stream. We got a question here. Get those last questions in. How do you think the salvaging and exploration gameplay loops will evolve in the future? Do you see them intertwining, and what new mechanics or tools would you like to see implemented? Salvaging and exploration. So I do think that there will be random wrecks that you come upon and that you can salvage without needing a salvage claim. I do think that there will, depending on which part of space you're in. So if you're in exploration mode, right? And like I don't, most people who are in an exploration ship aren't out looking for salvaging stuff, but if they have the ability to mark that salvage, and then you can take your shit back and come back to it, that's going to change the way that we view salvaging, right? Because right now it's like, okay, I just kind of have to remember where this is, or toss a 1 SCU box out so that I can have a marker to come back and get it. But once we can say, I'm marking this and I'm going to leave and then come back, that's going to change the way we look at salvaging. So maybe I just go out and I spend maybe an hour out marking salvage locations, and then I go back and I get my vulture for the small ones and my reclaimer for the larger ones. And I think that's really how they're going to intertwine, is marking the salvage, then going out and getting them. And then, like, I also think exploration, a part of exploration is finding things and bringing it back, and also telling other people where things are. So there might be a place where you can go, or maybe it's just in general, maybe in chat, maybe it's, you know, some in-game functionality where you can talk to explorers and purchase the locations of these salvage vehicles, right? So like, you know, I'm looking for a hammerhead and somebody already knows where a hammerhead is, and they're like, oh, okay, I saw one over next to Lyra. So like, go over there and here's the marker for it. That'll be 50,000 UEC. And I think also in the reverse, right, there's going to be people who maybe I only brought a vulture, and in order to really get the money out of this, I would need something larger like a reclaimer. So I might say, okay, I know where this is, but instead of salvaging it myself, I will sell this information to either an explorer who knows how to sell it better than I do because I don't do exploration, or I'll sell it myself even though I'm already in a ship that can do it. So I do think we also need more integrated scanning. We need much better scanning tech than we currently have, because exploration is going to be heavily centered on how well you can scan things and the information that you can glean from them. So maybe, you know, that hammerhead is just out of your range, that salvage capable hammerhead is right outside of the range of your exploration scanner, your exploration ship's scanners, and then you don't end up seeing it because you're not in a ship that has that great of a capability. But I think salvaging and repair will be much better interlinked because of the fact that you get that RMC material, and that's also what you use to repair ships. So that's what I'm super excited for. And what mechanics or tools would I like to see implemented? I want the claw back for the reclaimer. I think that must be said every single time. And I can't wait to see what the reclaimer gets with that. I know we're getting a drone for it of some sort. So I'm very much so looking forward to whatever drone the reclaimer gets. And as far as mechanics, I need exploration to be fun. When I find something, I want to be able to immediately sell that data. I don't want to have to wait and then have somebody else come and find it and then sell the data before I can. Like, I want to be able to sell that data. I want to be able to, when I find things based on exploration, I want to be able to, I want that to matter to the game as well, right? Like, I want to be able to find not necessarily a planet that nobody has ever seen, but maybe I climb a mountain that nobody has ever climbed, and then because I climbed it first, I can name that mountain whatever I want, right? I want it to be, when I get into deep space, maybe I find an asteroid and I do something with that asteroid to where that asteroid could be named after me, or whatever, something like that. I want exploration to be, I want to feel like I'm actually exploring and discovering new things. The same thing with caves and stuff like that. When it comes to salvaging, I really just want my claw. I really want my claw. But I also think salvaging can grow in a way of, you know, certain ships giving you more money based on like the paint, right? So like, you know, if you have a unique paint on your ship hull, maybe I can, that RMC is worth more. Maybe if maybe there are better salvage heads, which, I mean, obviously we already know that there's going to be ones that can go faster, but what about ones that can collect more useful material? As in the amount of salvage you get is more, even if you cover the same amount. and you don't lose anything or something like that. And then of course, I think once we implement a claw, we can have better, you know, clawing things. So I also want to see more FPS salvaging stuff. I think that would be cool too. So yeah. What else we got? The claw. The claw. Yeah, I think building is going to be super important to the game. And I think they used to like I think before they came up with before they actually decided on what base building was going to look like, they decided that like money, reputation, and like other things were going to be super important. And then when they started really looking at base building, they were like, oh, this should really be the center of the game. And I didn't know that that's where they were going. I always thought base building was going to be like this side thing. And but at CitizenCon, it became very clear to me that base building is going to be very central to the game, and crafting is going to be very central to the game. Whereas I always thought those were going to be kind of offshoot things that like you can participate in, but you don't have to. And now I think they're going to be very central to the game. And I do think that base building is going to be the biggest money maker in the game when it's all said and done. Base building and crafting are going to be huge. If they ever sell blueprints, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to buy those. If they ever sell land claims again, you need to buy those. It's going to be very interesting when we get base building. The whole game is going to change. It's going to change. Oh, the claw from from Liar Liar. I remember that. Liar Liar is very highly underrated in the comedic genius of Jim Carrey. I mean, Jim Carrey is already lauded as one of the greatest comedians of all time. But his performance in Liar Liar, I don't think there's five other comedians who have ever existed that could pull that off. The only other person I could think of that could have pulled that off is Robin Williams. Robin Williams, I think, could have done Liar Liar, but he's the only other person I can think of that could have done that movie and had it be that good. Yeah, Jim Carrey is a legend. Yes, crafting weapons and ammo. Let's get some crafting of weapons and ammo. I cannot wait until I could just sit inside of my hangar and just be tinkering away, and then people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, I'm making ammo for my shark mouth. I'm making ammo for my NDBs or whatever. Like, that's gonna be so cool. Let's see. Ooh, dinosaurs would be cool. Later, Panzer. Blueprints confirmed. Yeah, R.I.P. Robin Williams. We all miss that dude. Yes, ask another question. All right, these are going to be our last few questions, so get your last questions in, and then we will figure out who are we going to jump to today. Probably somebody we've been jumping to a lot of new people. Let's jump to somebody we've already jumped to before. Unless there's somebody we haven't. Did we do Icostin? No, yeah, we did Icostin before. Let's do King Chaos. We haven't done King Chaos in a while. Or does somebody else need it more? I think that's pretty good. I think King Chaos is a good jump right now. All right, that's who we'll do. All right. Everybody, ask your final questions, and then we'll go through those, and then we will raid. All right. As a streamer, what's been the most rewarding part of sharing your Star Citizen journey? Are there any viewer-driven activities or challenges you'd love to try during a stream? The most rewarding part of sharing my Star Citizen journey, I think it's the reciprocation from the community. I think like when I started my YouTube channel, it really just started as like me wanting to really just have a place where I could talk about Star Citizen and like see if other people were interested in things I had to say, and maybe start a conversation on things that I was interested in. Because I very much so tried to do it on Reddit, and there's a lot of hate on Reddit, not as much on YouTube. And I think finding out that the community really was there to just like have the conversation was really, really cool. Like, and the amount of things I've learned from this community, like I didn't, before I started this YouTube channel, I barely knew anything about the CCU game. Now I'm creating like tutorials on it. So like this is incredible. This is like the respect I've received from this community, the people stopping me in the street, people stopping me at CitizenCon, like it has been unbelievable. The community is by far the best thing about Star Citizen, even better than the game. And that's why I said I'll be going to every CitizenCon from now on. I just like it. I had so much fun at CitizenCon. It's like one of the top 3 events that I've ever went to in my life. And there's people who went there that were like, it sucked. And I was like, you clearly did not have the same experience as I did, because it was incredible for me. So that's the most rewarding part, is being able to engage with the community consistently and be able to talk about this game I love and have people like have serious conversations about it, and not just be like, oh, get out of here, nerd. I mean, they can do that. I don't care. I don't really care about that stuff. But yeah, that's the most rewarding thing. Any viewer-driven activities or challenges you'd love to try? Viewer-driven activities. I think activities and activities, yes. Challenges, probably not. Like, the challenges are always going to be like upping the subscriber count, the follower count, that type of stuff. But that's more background. I think for me, it's trying to find out what the community agrees on and disagrees on. Like, I might do more polls and stuff in the future, or just let everybody else do polls and just kind of see what all the viewers' opinions are. Like right now, I might ask like, which one are you purchasing, the Guardian or the Misfortune or something like that, or I'm sorry, not the Misfortune, the Paladin, right? And see, or both, right? And then just see like what is everybody looking to purchase and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not doing activities and challenges that much yet, because I'm still kind of trying to figure out how Twitch works. And there's plenty of people that are helping me do that all the time, so it's always cool. Let's see. Any more questions? Will you lead some raids for us into the contested areas? Once I gotta get my FPS skills back a little bit. I feel like I'm kind of I feel like I'm kind of losing it a little bit, because like I'm using these sticks so much. But yeah, I really want to make sure that I have my skills together before I start leading raids. Joining raids, absolutely. But there are better FPS players than me. So, at least right now. But I will definitely lead some in the future. I just don't know how soon that future is. Yeah, I'll see you at CitizenCon. What else? What other questions we got? Shout out to people who watch my early videos because those things were rough. Some of them are still rough. I'm your favorite Star Citizen streamer? Wow, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. New insurance terms, I do think take effect in 4.0. But yeah, I think that's it for the questions. Shout out to everybody who watched today. Thanks to everybody who asked questions. Thanks to the dual streamers. I will see all of you in the next one. And I should have a video coming out about the Paladin tomorrow. Now that it's going to be in game, I might as well just wait and do the review. Or the Guardian, I mean. I'll see what the Guardian looks like, and then that'll be my next video. I was working on the Paladin, but I think I'll just do the Guardian since we know it's coming out. So we'll see what that price is. I think it's 230 to 260, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Shout out to the members, folks, and let's raid. Let's raid.